what's up everybody? How we doing? It's midweek in between round 1 and round 2 of the Supercross series, and it's crazy. We go 3-4 months or whatever it is in the off season. We just build up A1, A1, A1. But guess what, guys? Oakland pays the same amount of points as Anaheim won, and it looks like it's going to be a mutter, guys, which is fine for some guys. Aaron Plessinger loves the mud. He'll do really well. He's one of those guys that, he grew up racing GNCC and he appreciates the mud. But then you got some other guys. You got Jason Anderson, Adam Cincerillo, Justin Barsha, Marvin Muskin, Christian Craig. These guys all had fairly disappointing Anaheim ones. So what that does is that puts a lot of pressure on you because nobody knows what's going to happen at a mud race. You could win, you could DNF. And it's a fine line in between. And these guys put themselves in a lot of pressure. Like, that's not easy to come out and know you need points when some of your rivals, they still have their mulligan, so to speak. But it's still 5.8% of the series every single round. And yes, it does look like rain, guys. They might get the track covered in time, but Oakland dirt is always soft anyway. Mix this into it, and I don't see how it's not going to be a pretty sloppy track one way or the other. But that's racing. That's what happens. It's the same for everybody. But these teams, it's crazy. You take a guy like Sexton, all off season, shows up, tightens up at round 1, and then the big thing is, where are these guys going to ride? A lot of these guys aren't flying back to Florida and doing a turnaround flight, and it's raining almost all over the West Coast. I'm in Vegas today, and it's soaking down. Finding a good dry practice track in between, that's tough. And another thing about 250 guys that I was thinking about, and I'm devastated for Austin Forkner. And when I did my last video, I talked about him having a broken leg. That's what I was told. It was preliminary. I don't know. It sounds like torn knee ligaments and a broken hand is what Pingree's reporting. So that's probably more accurate than what I had. The guy I got it from was there, saw it, speculated. But either way, he's out for quite a long time. But I make fun of the super duper motocross thing. This actually might be a good thing for Austin. It might not be the end of him. I don't know what his contract looks like. If it has him all the way through those last 3 races, he might be able to come back, and a great showing in the super duper cross might get him another ride. It might get him another chance. It might remind us who he is and what he's all about. I mean, he's got, what, 8 months to get healthy now? I think that's plenty. Even if he does an ACL or reconstruction, I still think he can be ready by Super Duper Cross. And, hey, turn a negative into a positive. If you guys think the Suzukis are really good, you're crazy. If you just want proof, listen, Roxon rode the wheels off that thing and got 5th place, which is about all that bike's, I don't know that you can get much more out of that Suzuki. You can keep saying that I'm talking trash or whatever, but it's just a fact. I mean, look at Shane McElrath. Look how good he did when he got on different brands, and then he gets on that one, and he didn't even make the main. So I don't want to hate on Suzuki, but I'm going to hate on Suzuki a little bit. And then another thing I'm going to do today, since it's kind of weird. It's a little bit of a slow news week, believe it or not, between round 1 and round 2. Not a whole lot to discuss. So I'm going to tell you a little story. I was out in Arizona. I saw a lot of my old college buddies. My friend Frank, he's not doing so hot, but I wanted to tell a Frank story. I have so many of these stories. I'm going to tell a lot of this stuff on my all day, everyday podcast, which is my other channel. If you want to head over there and subscribe, I would appreciate it. But bunny hopping, my friend Frank. So let me set this up for you guys. We are camping in Sedona. We're about 10 beers deep. My friend Frank brought his mountain biking gear, and he just bought clip-on shoes. And I was like, oh, cool. What'd you buy that for? He's like, so I can bunny hop. I'm like, what do you mean? So you can bunny hop? Yeah, that's how you bunny hop. I'm like, no. Sorry, Frank, it doesn't work like that. You don't need clips to bunny hop. Clips that's totally separate. And unlike before, or like now we probably would have settled it with let's Google this, but there was no Google. This was like 1999, 98, 99, somewhere around there. I said, Frank, I'll bet you I can bunny hop your bike without clips, higher than you can go with clips. No, not a chance, Frank says. All right then, We set out a cooler, and I bunny hopped the cooler on his bike. Frank, oh, he's going to show me what's up now. So he's bolting up, he's strapping his shoes on. I mean, he took like 15 minutes. Like, he looked like Burt Reynolds in that stunt movie getting ready. I mean, he's dead set. And he's just got the eye of the tiger. Like, Frank is going to bunny hop this and show me what clips can do. Meanwhile, Frank just got these. Frank doesn't know how to bunny hop. So he gets pedaling, he's hauling ass, and I'm going, oh shit, he's going way too fast. Like, what's he doing? He bunny hops, he jumps, goes to like jump with the clips. Bike comes off about a ½ an inch. Front tire just nails the cooler. Back tire hits the cooler, and he just airbornes, boom, and just goes kind of flat, but not like you're whipping it on purpose. That, oh shit, I'm flat, lands. It's nighttime. We see sparks. We hear Frank yell, oh! I mean, it was tremendous. But needless to say, Frank realized bunny hopping is not necessarily with clips. You know, as we finish more beers, the next day, Frank's all bruised up, blood everywhere. Nothing broken, but that's my Frank story. And I got about 1,000 more of these Frank stories about the time we smuggled a shark over the Mexican border. Yeah, seriously, that happened. We brought a shark over for his tank, and it's a long story. But anyway, guys, check that out on All Day, Every Day, and thanks for listening.